Alright, what's up, squares? How we doing today? Does everybody have a wonderful, great holiday? Hold on one second. I have a new phone. I can't tell you. I'm going to tell you. I'll share with you in a minute. I'm going to give this one more go before I hold off the show, run back to Verizon, and get my money back. This is, without a doubt, one of the worst purchases I've bought. This phone, I don't know, it's not the Wi-Fi service, because it's just, this phone is so slow. It's the iPhone 12. So slow, never connects to anything. Yeah, the service is terrible. It's not, I don't know what's going on here, but I do know one thing. This is terrible. I know terrible, this is terrible. I'm going to share with you terrible today. Today, the theme of the Steve Squared Show, by the way, in case you didn't know you were watching the Steve Squared Show, is terrible. So, I can't even connect to, this is terrible. I don't even understand what's happening. You know what? Maybe it's better off I don't even connect. Yeah, it says weak signal. I don't know what is going on here with this. This is really bad. But something's going on. And I'm not sure what it... now they want me to enter a password. Look at this. Forget this. Anyway, not necessary. What's going on? Welcome to the Steve Squared Show. I'm your host, Funny Man, Stevie K. Of course, alone, by myself, all by my lonesome. But never quite alone. Of course, I have with me... I wouldn't have a show... remote style without Kermit. Look how great there was a point that Kermit was losing so many leaves, and I was going to go to the plant club for men, the plant club for plants, for horticulturists, because this poor plant was losing so many of its leaves, and now it's gotten back into its groove. Maybe it's the change of season. Maybe it didn't love the winter, even though we had a mild winter. But it's vibrant color green, as you could see. It's not lost any leaves in a while, so we're doing pretty good with Kermit. We'll put Kermit over here for a moment. How y'all doing? Did you have a wonderful weekend? What a weekend I had. Well, first of all, happy holidays, right? Easter, Passover. All of the great things to lead into... Spring is my favorite time of year. We all love Christmas, but after Christmas and the hubbub of Christmas and New Year's, you just settle in for a long, dark, cold winter. Even though, again, it wasn't that bad. Spring is like, everything is great, right? I wish I could show you outside. Things are blooming. I got my mom a while back a Japanese blossom tree at her over there, and a beautiful tree. It blooms all the time for this springtime, like clockwork. I asked her, how do trees know? I'm so amazed. They know. They just know. They bloom right on time. The magnolias are magnoliaing. The blossoms are blossoming. The birds are probably crapping right on top of my car. They're back. You remember I had the whole bird battle last year. I won. I have removed their nest. I told you, the Olsen Tree people, and their nest has been removed. So they're coming home. Let's say you went away on vacation for a couple of months. You went down to Florida, whatever you did. You said, we're getting away for the winter. We're going to go to Florida. We'll come home, and it'll be spring. And you come home, your home is gone. That's what I did to these birds. They have come home from a vacation, wherever they went, and they have come home to nothing. And you know who they're going to take it out on. They are going to peck my eyes out. They know it was me, because we have this yin and yang. We have this connection, myself and the birds. So I'm racing to get ready for the show. Okay? I like to put up the banner behind me, as you can see, Governor's Comedy Club, so you know this is not some fly-by-night, piece of schlock I put together. That legitimizes me. You get one of those vinyl flyers that say Gov's Comedy Club, you're the real deal. So, and not everybody can get that, mind you. So, I'm putting it up. I'm doing how I usually do it, and crash what I usually hold it up with, hold on, I'll show you. I usually hold it up with this, which is probably my fault because it's, right, this was the lamp you make in class. Did I do this? Whoever did got a B+. So it's the horse lamp, and it's not that heavy, so it didn't really hold. It smashed. You could see the bulb has been smithereens, but at least this withstood it, the fall. So that was lucky. So what had happened, so I had to clean that mess right before the show. It's always something. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see behind me, I put the weight of one of these bodybuilding trophies I had won back in the day. Just throwing it out there. And I should have used that because that's got more weight to it. And now you can see how beautifully it's hung up. I was really never good in physics. Speaking of physics, boy, what a weekend. On Saturday, my nephew, who the whole wedding I prepared for, as you know, I wish I could have brought you all to the wedding. But, so I go to, their wedding, everything was great, now they're married, and boom, my nephew was like, he does not miss a beat, he doesn't waste a minute, he is on point. Him and his now new bride have bought a house, my nephew Kevin and Grace, so they bought this really nice house in Merrick. If you want to go see them, I'll give you the address, you can stop by and say hello. They'd love to have you. But I wanted to help move, I'm a good uncle, I do anything for my nephews and niece. So I go over there, and I'll tell you, I have new respect for movers. I don't think, I have moved sometimes from apartments, and usually I don't take anything with me. I start over. I don't want any of it. I feel like a move is a new start. I think that's what people should do. You just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on a new home, throw away all your furniture. You don't want it. Start new. Do something, or sleep on the floor. It's not worth it. It's not worth the hernia. It's not worth the chance of impaling yourself. Boy, I mean, the tough part, it's not so much, there were couches and big things. We rented a U-Haul, my nephew. It's the navigating the staircase is really difficult, because you have this narrow staircase. The couch somehow, everything is it fits like a glove. There is no room for error. And we're like, everybody's turning blue and we're holding things. And you don't want to be the one on the bottom because in case you're on top, that's okay. You let it go. Just blast who's underneath to smithereens. But we were all took turns and did what we could, and we did a good job for the three of us. It was only myself, my nephew, and my brother-in-law, his dad. And we did a great job. We got him moved into America. Then we had you load the truck and you have that moment where you're like, we did it. Then you have that ride, and we didn't have a long layover because of break time. The ride was like 5 minutes, next town over. Now we got to unload everything. And of course, it was getting dark, but we did good. I thought the unloading was quicker than the loading, I felt. And I feel like that on a lot of things. You ever go on a trip, getting there takes longer. When you come home, it seems quicker, right? It's always that way. So I felt like that for the move. But beautiful house. Really, really nice house. So good luck to them. We'll give them a Celsius salute on the new house. Oh boy, that's not good. Hey, I'm not telling any of you, but I found a new mother load of blacktop Celsius, as you know. I've been having the blacktop Celsius problem. I have found a hidden treasure. I will not share it with you. There's actually 2 spots I found, and both very close. I have made this my new quest in life. Now, before I got on, I also had I said the theme of the show was terrible. I was getting a call just a moment ago. I didn't want to take it. Maybe I should have taken it on the air and really, had this conversation that's going to happen on the air. Someone was calling me from a service that my folks use, a sprinkler service, and we had a little tete-a-tete, a little banter, a rapport, and not so wonderful back and forth earlier. If something can go wrong, it always goes wrong. And I was getting over there, didn't get there in time, and there was a complete melee. As soon as I got to the house, my dad's running outside. He's got a check in his hand. Chaos is happening. I said, "This is no bueno." So I go over and I try to fix the situation. And of course, I don't have. I appear very calm, cool, and collected on the Steve Squared Show. You very rarely see me unless I'm with Steve, who also knows how to push my buttons. I'm a very calm person, very tranquil, very zen-like, until you push my buttons. Then I go from here to here, and I skip 2 through 9. I go from 0 to 10, like this. I'm a lunatic. I know it's hard for you to imagine. I'm such a quiet guy. But I lose it. And I felt like I don't like to be sold or talked to in that manner, as if I'm some kind of jamoke. I'm not your normal schnook. I'm a special schnook. I want special schnook credit. And I was not given that, so I lost it, and that was the owner of the company, I'm sure, calling to put a warrant out for my arrest. But I was in the right. I'm in the right, and when I'm in the right, I'm not in the left. So I'm, even though I am a lefty. So anyway, I hope you all had a good Easter, speaking of Easter. Or Passover, or the holiday, whatever you did for the weekend. I know a lot of people, some people, I feel like the Lent thing, giving up something for Lent, is not as observed anymore. I've talked to people, what'd you give up? What'd you give up? And most people I go, what? No, nothing. They're not even making the attempt anymore, and I felt like that. I feel like Lent is almost like New Year's resolutions, right? New Year's resolutions. What did you do? What are you giving up? It's almost the same thing. We always look for things to get us to do things, right? We need New Year's. All right, I'm going to stop bad habits. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to do this. And Lent is the same thing. I'm going to stop. I think, though, Lent is more a behavioral change, a positive, more, awareness type of thing of family, friends. You want to be that type of person. I don't know if it's about giving up Tootsie Rolls. Not sure if that was in the Old Testament. No, let there be no Tootsie Roll. And then there was no Tootsie Roll. But it could have. I mean, I'm not very up to date on my religious studies. I don't know if Tootsie Rolls or candy was a huge problem back then in biblical times. But you never know. There was locusts, there was famine, and there was Tootsie Rolls. So, but you're trying to make a sacrifice. I get it. But some people give up pretty easy things. But you try, that's the whole thing is about trying. It's the same thing with fitness. I was talking to a client today, and she was really opening up and saying, she has fluctuations in weight, having trouble losing weight, staying on a consistent routine, and I was thinking about it, and I feel she was setting herself up for failure by trying to lose it all in one day, right? She needed to lose a large amount of weight, over 50 pounds, and she's trying to get that back quickly, and I said, you want to take your time and not worry about those kind of things. The first thing is to develop good habits. What's a good habit? Let's get into Fitness Steve's, shall we, while we're talking about good habits. I'm going to put Fitness Steve on for you. Here we go. There we go. Fitness Steve, okay? All right. Now, fitness tip of the day. So maybe you're someone that doesn't drink enough water. Have some water. Go for a 15-minute walk every day. That's your new goal. That's a simple goal. 15-minute walk, a brisk walk, something like that. You don't have to go to the gym and take some crazy Zumba class, or, you know, when you see these videos of these people that look amazing, just go for a walk. That's simple, right? We can do that. Make a better food choice. We can do that, right? We know those kind of bad foods. We know we shouldn't stop off at KFC and get the extra crispy bucket of chicken and then salt it and then dip it in gravy. We know that. You don't need Fit Guy Steve to tell you. You know that. So come on. Make good choices and try to walk 15 minutes a day. So that's what I told this woman. I said, let's start real basic. Don't worry about crazy planks and jumping up and down and throwing medicine balls. I said, can you walk? Then walk. You know, can you stand up? Stand up. Let's just move, and you will see that that will create the energy, and you will get your goals and your results. And she was very excited, very motivated, which led me to my next thing. I was thinking about motivators and speech because my nephew was speaking to me yesterday at the holiday dinner, and he was saying he's like me. He's a man of many talents. He gets that from me, of course. He's a great photographer, designed dumbbells, of course. I always tell you that. The dumbbell logo. He also is really good. He's really into the fitness thing. He's got a hurt shoulder right now, but he wanted to do some personal training. He's studying for the exam, and he was asking me about being a life coach. So what do you need to be a life coach, a motivator? He said, I'd like to help people change their lives for the better and make, better choices. I said, well, then don't be a stockbroker. No. So he wants to make people have better choices. So I was looking up, obviously, what's the motivator that comes to mind? Tony Robbins, right? The great Tony Robbins, the motivator, the motivational speech guru that people pay $10,000 a minute to. And I was, what is this guy's credentials? And he has no formal education after high school. And he worked for different people that were in that field of motivational corporate speaking and things like that. And it was that path that he was just in. Obviously, he's a good speaker, right? You have to be a good speaker to begin with, and a good grasp of the English language, a good vernacular, like a Clyde Frazier. Swishin' and dishin'. So that's really it. So it's not as much the education in that field as much as it is the gift of gab. But it doesn't hurt to have some background educational things. Like if you're going into life coaching, you want to know something about psychology, what motivates people, things like that, and what causes people to get down, and things like hormonal effects, and so there are a lot of things that go in other than just saying, come on, you could do it. For that, you could just watch the movie Rudy, and then you'd be fine. Watch Rudy, and you'll take care of business. Oh, Rocky's good too. I'll give you Rocky or Rudy. That's what I would say as a motivational coach. If I was your life coach and you came to me with 10 problems, I'd say watch Rocky 10 times. You'll be fine. Done. Anyway. Oh! Let me show you this. Very excited. I ran a race. It was the St. Patrick's Day race, and it got pushed back, right? So my St. Patrick's Day, here, we're getting a call. Let's see. Hold on a minute. We're getting a call. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hello?
Steven.
Jeff, hold on a minute, buddy. I'm going to make you a little louder. And hold on. Don't go anywhere. We're getting Jeff nice and loud for you people. Go ahead, Jeff. Give us a talk.
Hello, Steve Squared.
There he is. That's the one and only. You know him. You love him. You've never seen him. The Zerv man, Zervos. Did you ever watch Mystery Science Theater 3000?
I did. I watched the original.
And you're like Serv. Well, your last name, it's Serv. I could call you Serv. Now, Jeff, I'm going to ask you to hold on a minute. Now, Jeff's got a really good movie review. It's probably one of the best movies he's ever seen. He told me, please, get me on this show. I got to share this amazing picture with the people. They need to see this film. And I'm going to hold off on 1 minute. Jeff, I'm just opening up something. So I ran this race. Actually, I ran it on my birthday. It was the St. Patrick's Day 10K. I have just received my completion packet, and my medal should be in here. So let's see what they sent me. Hold on a minute. I'm very excited to open this baby. This is it. I need things like this in my life. I need affirmation. I need constant affirmation.
Did you finish like first place or something?
No, it's kind of one of those things where as long as you finish and in your time slot, you get a medal for completing the race. Yeah. Jeff, do I look like I'm from Kenya? Am I walking across the New York? This is not the New York City Marathon, my friend. Jeff just, I'll tell you what Jeff just did. I had my whole audience on the edge of their seat, thinking this is amazing. Jeff just completely blew it out of the water. He asked me if I finished first. I could easily hit that button and cut Jeff right off. Send him into an oblivion. This is nice. Hold on a minute. Look at this. Now, this is great. Oh my gosh. Look how exciting. Look at this, guys. That's the Snoopy Peanuts 10K race. Look at that medal. Beautiful. It's the Snoopy medal. And, oh boy, am I wearing this. I'm wearing this week. This is fantastic. It's Snoopy, and he's with Woodstock on a pot, on the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. This is wonderful. And look, here's the whole gang. The whole gang is there. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
That's fantastic. I told you, I'm not some ordinary schnook, I could do things. I have things I can do. Now, Jeff knows what it's like to deal with difficult workers. I was telling them I had a little argument with my sprinkler people today.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. And I lost it a little bit.
Oh, my God.
They're not coming back ever. We're never getting our lawn watered. my poor folks.
What did you do?
It's minor. I've had a bad week. Sorry, folks. How was your Easter, Jeff? Did you have a good Easter? Good weekend?
Yeah, weekend was good. Quiet.
Now, I'm going to say what Jeff just did because I am practicing on being a motivational life coach. Yeah, I asked Jeff how his weekend went, and what did he do? He went high with his voice. Yeah, it was all right. That's like when you ask somebody, how did your date go? It was all right.
Is that a tell?
That's a tell. You weren't like, oh, it was amazing. Boom. You were like, eh. When you go up to that other octave, then that's how I know. That's a tell. So let's get right into the meat. Let's forget about the appetizer. Let's get right to the meat. You saw the movie Paint.
Well, okay. I saw 20 minutes of it before I walked out on it.
Wait, can you talk a little louder? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I saw 20 minutes of it, and then I walked out on it.
So you saw 20 minutes of Paint. Jeff, you're coming on the Steve Squared Show purporting to be a movie reviewer. You can't see 20 minutes of a movie.
Well, yeah, look, this is only the second movie I've ever walked out on in my life.
Oh my God, I don't know. I've walked out on many movies. So, what theater did you see Paint in?
I saw it at the Regal in Farmingdale.
The Regal in Farmingdale. Okay. And it was, so let me give people some background. The movie Paint is starring Owen Wilson, You remember Owen Wilson, for those of you who haven't seen Owen in a while. And he portrays a Bob Ross type character, right?
It's inspired by. I mean, he's got the Bob Ross afro. He's got the common Bob Ross voice. He has his public access painting show. He's a nature guy like Bob Ross.
Right.
I think it's insulting to mention this movie and Bob Ross in the same sentence.
Now, right, I saw the Bob Ross. I had assumed this was a biopic on the life of Bob Ross.
That's what I originally thought this might be. But yeah, it ain't that. I mean, they took the Bob Ross characteristics and gave it to Owen Wilson's character, and it's just utterly freaking stupid. There's nothing interesting in the first 20 minutes of this movie. I couldn't take it. I had to get out of it. I couldn't take it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sitting through this for an hour and 40 minutes. I'm not doing this.
I actually topped you because I tried to watch the trailer, and I couldn't even get through the trailer.
Yeah, it's awful.
It looks pretty bad. It actually received a 30% on Rotten Tomato.
They're being kind.
With a 30% audience score, so it almost matched. So, because usually sometimes the critics will bash it, but the audience likes it. This was pretty even across, 30-30.
Waste of film.
Now, did you pay for this? Was this the Monday night movie? No, tonight's Monday night.
Yeah, no, I paid full ticket price to see this.
Oh, that's nothing worse than that. You should have asked for your... don't they let you do that? If you don't stay for a movie and it's so awful, don't they have something where they give you money back?
I don't know. You know what? I figure... I took the risk.
Yeah, but that's...
I put the money up.
I still feel like if you don't stay...
If I hate it.
I think, in my opinion, that if someone... There should be... Movie theaters should have this. This is a great idea. I'm going to put this on Shark Tank, even though it's not a thing. I think that if you should get 10 or 15 minutes of a movie, and if you don't like it, you go and you get your refund. And I think that's... Because they got people... The content has just been bad. And it's not fair to make people pay and then have to sit there. Or, like in your case, leave.
Yep.
And movies are expensive now.
No, they haven't for a while.
Yeah, they're not $5 like Monday night. Now, tonight is the Monday night $5 thing, right?
I don't think it's...
Oh, it's not every Monday.
I don't think there was a mystery movie tonight.
Okay.
I gotta look to see when the next one is.
Okay. Jeff, as you remember, goes to those once a month. I think it's at Farmingdale?
Yeah, it's the Farmingdale region.
They do a Monday night mystery. So you pay $5, but you don't know the movie you're going to see. It's almost like a dating app I was on once. You pay $5 and you don't know.
If I would have went to the last movie mystery, I would have seen Paint for $5 and still walked out.
But you feel better about walking out on Paint for $5 than for $15. There's something about watching Owen Wilson, and I posted on my Instagram for the show. I said Owen Wilson can crash a wedding, he can meet the parents, but he certainly cannot paint.
I'm sorry, I don't know how this guy became an actor. I don't remember anything good he was ever in.
I'm just a bigger fan of Luke Wilson, his brother. I like...
What has he done?
Luke is, he's been in some thrillers. He's actually really good. I like him. I mean, obviously, he's done a lot of rom-coms. He's been in the Legally Blonde, where he played, Reese Witherspoon's love interest and friend. But he's been in tons of movies. He's a little funnier. He's a better actor. He's done serious, good thrillers. He's definitely way better. And then there's the third brother who's just terrible. But you know what? They play that kind of Midwestern Texan drawly, blonde hair. That Matthew McConaughey style. works for them. Oh, gee shucks.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what he does. No, it works for him. So Jeff did not like the movie Paint.
Yeah, save your money.
Save your money. With the review from Jeff is no bueno. That is not a winner. I'll tell you a winner though. I've been really getting into reading this book, The Perfect Storm. I'm really digging this book by Sebastian Junger. Very, very good book. He really paints a really good picture on what it's like to be a fisherman and in the rough seas and that kind of area of the North Atlantic. And it's a really good book. And
Is that the book they based the movie on?
That is the book they based the movie on with George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg, Diane Lane. So it's a really good book, and it got me thinking because how horrible it is to be a sword fisherman. Because most often or not, you're not coming back alive. You really are not. You're 50-50 chance because you're going out at sea for a month, sometimes 2 months at a time. It's in the roughest waters imaginable in the North Atlantic, where the storms are the worst. And besides storms, it's dangerous. The hooks, the lines, people get thrown off the boat. It's terrible. It's terrible. So now it sounds like fun.
Why don't I get on boats? I don't know.
So I compiled a list of the worst jobs imaginable. And let me run through a few. So let's say we all complain about our jobs. Nobody likes their job, unless you're Taylor Swift or Harry Styles. But most of us are not. So we all hate our jobs. Unless you're Aaron Judge, making $360 million a day.
Yeah.
So
2 home runs yesterday.
You know what? At least he's worth it. I love that Jeff is locking in on the Yankees. You see Jeff giving the Yankee news.
I got the game on right now.
Oh my gosh! Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Don't. I can't. Did it? Oh, it started.
I enjoying baseball for the first time in
I love it. Jeff is amazing. The last time Jeff watched a Yankee game, I think who was playing? Reggie Jackson.
The last game that I actually watched all the way through was Jeter's last game.
Jeter's last game. Jeff finally got the Yankee Network. He turned it on. He goes, I don't understand. Why isn't Reggie batting fourth?
Yeah, where's Chris Chandler's?
Where's Reggie? I said, I don't know. Reggie's 75 years old.
Hey, that Reggie Jackson thing on Prime is pretty good.
I watched it, and what Jeff is talking about is the Reggie Jackson documentary, and it is really good. He has interviews with, Hank Aaron, all the old A's. We talked about this last week on the podcast show, and I watched it a little more and the whole thing. He does try to paint himself as a real heroic guy, and like a Jackie Robinson and a Hank Aaron almost.
No, he's always done that.
And he's really not. he's really a guy that enjoyed himself.
But Reggie's always been that. He was great,
right?
In his way, like he wasn't a Hank Aaron.
No, but I'm even talking socially. As those guys, the Jackie Robinsons, depicting themselves as real, pioneers, if you will.
Reggie has always thought very highly of himself.
Yes, and I wish I'd have the confidence and thought myself of that too. I think Reggie would be a great motivational speaker for himself.
But you know what?
For himself.
He's got a 6-car garage.
Oh my God! Did you see that?
You know what? Okay.
You can be. Here's a couple of bad jobs. So obviously, sword fishermen. They have a job called roadkill collector.
Ugh.
You specifically go out on the road and you scrape up the carcasses of those animals that never made it across the highway.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You sure? You get paid by the roadkill. You're paid by the scrape.
I'm not doing it.
It's $20 a kill. You could be a manure collector, which is also a thing. You collect manure.
I'd love to do the roadkill.
Okay. Work in a zoo. You'd be the cage cleaner. Work in a zoo and you clean up, animal poop.
Yeah.
they have a crime scene collector. A crime scene. So really, you're yeah. So after the bludgeoned family is, they call after the detectives see what happened. You know, maybe one of the kids went berserk and bludgeoned the whole family. It's now your job to come in and with your cleaners and scrape up the carcasses of the humans.
Yeah.
So which would you rather do, roadkill or crime scene?
I think I'm still going to go with the roadkill.
I think you make more money crime scene though.
You probably do, and I'm not sure if I want to deal in dead human bodies though.
All right.
You get a squirrel, you get a shovel, you scrape it into a garbage can, you're done.
That's true.
That's a whole thing.
You know, I'll tell you, there was a movie called Sunshine Cleaning with Amy Adams, where that was the cleaning company. They cleaned crime scenes. And it was like a comedy drama. It was her and her friend, and they formed a cleaning thing, and they saw they could make a lot of money. And they cleaned, you know, it was a crime scene thing. They also have dentist on the list. Dentist is on the list. So your dentist working in mouths is not one of the, but they get paid so well.
One of the worst jobs?
Yeah, dentist. Yeah, and here's the final one, podcast host. One of the most horrific, dangerous jobs someone could face, short of going on the North Atlantic coast, is hosting a podcast show with no audience.
Okay.
Hosting a podcast show with no audience.
You get paid for these podcasts?
Jeff, I can't talk about this. I can't talk finances on the air. Jeff's asking me money questions. I got a Govs radio thing behind me. I got a Celsius.
You get paid for doing podcasts?
You can, of course.
Really?
Yeah, but there's a lot of contingencies on how you make money and how we do it at Governors. It's very underhanded and very, very connected.
I should try that.
You should try that. Yeah, totally. Get on. We're gonna get Jeff a podcast show. We'll come.
I hate hearing myself talk, so it might be an issue, but.
Well, you could have a new kind of podcast show where there's silence for 60 minutes. That could be your thing. You don't say a word, and you just sigh.
That's a great idea.
Just your sighs, your angst. That's what you could do. It is now. So that was, and I told you I helped my nephew move this weekend. Oh well, I'm still feeling. Did pretty good. I'm still feeling that move. But I was thinking of that big moving company, College Hunks. You know the moving company, the College Hunks hauling junk. That's their thing. They have these orange trucks that are around Long Island, and that's right. They were on the very first episode of Shark Tank. The very first episode. And they were looking for investments from the sharks, and they got one offer, but they didn't want it. And but of course, it's become a huge franchise. It's in every state. They're enormous. These two guys started it. Good idea. Now I don't know if all the movers are college hunks. It's like, it's kind of like a catfish dating thing, because you don't get your hunk. You get some big slobby guy, but. I didn't see what the cost is, but they seem really good. They were very, I think that's the way to go next time. If you ever move, if my nephew's watching, if you ever move again, call College Hunks.
I don't think I can get myself to call that number.
Oh, sure, I could call College Hunks.
No, thanks.
All right. All right. Anyway, so Jeff was not a big fan of that. I'm so sorry. Now, hold on a second. Let me see. I'm going to try something, Jeff. I'm going to try, because I'm going to add a call, because we just missed Steve, and I wanted to say hi. We'll get hi to Steve here.
Oh, cool.
Let's see. Let's see if I can do this with this crappy phone. Boy, am I upset with this phone. I'm not a big fan of this phone.
You sure you can do this?
I might lose you. If I do, don't be offended. It's happened to the best. Let's see. Are you still there, Jeff? No, Jeff's on hold.
Hello?
Steve?
Steve?
Oh, this is fantastic! Now hold on a second. I'm trying something crazy here. I was on with Jeff when you called, so I was trying to merge everybody. That's why I missed your call.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm going to hit this button, see if it works with my new phone, Steve.
Oh, your new phone. Helpful.
All right, Jeff. Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Hold on. We're getting everybody first? All right, let me do a roll call. Jeff.
Here.
Steve?
Here.
Wow! And
Steve.
ladies and gentlemen, there are a few wonders of the world.
Wow.
There's the Grand Canyon. There are the Seven Wonders. You might have seen the Moses movie during this holiday season where he brought down the Ten Commandments. But there is nothing like merging two people on my crappy phone.
You figured out conference call.
I have confidence.
Your phone. Look at that. Shocking. Steve, how you doing, buddy? I'm good.
Yeah, that was Jeff to Steve. I know it's hard. I'm Steve. There's a couple of Steves here. Now, Steve, Jeff was on talking about the movie Paint and how awful it was with Owen Wilson.
Oh, I didn't even see it. God awful. Paint.
Jeff walked.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the Bob Ross thing. Oh, okay.
Jeff walked out after 15 minutes. He left the theater.
Oh wow! Couldn't even sit through that. I couldn't stand it anymore. 20 minutes, I was gone. Wow.
How was your weekend, Steve? Happy Easter. Happy everything.
Yeah, happy Easter.
What did you do? What did you have for dinner?
What did we have for dinner? It was a very simple dinner, just some roast beef. Nothing was special.
Okay, well, everything is special.
No mashed potatoes, you know.
Very good. Nice. So that was good. So now
and a little corn syrup, some cheesecloth to suck along afterwards for dessert.
Steve will never let me live down the corn syrup soaked cheesecloth, which does make a delicious dessert. Now, Jeff, you should.
But Steve, it's not you. You know, Jeff.
It's of course. Now, Jeff, if you've read the book, which you have said you did, you know that reference is to the Anything is Possible book, page 12, where Steve is referencing young Jack soaking on cheesecloth. That was the early years of Jack LaLanne. Yes. Now, Steve, the library, I noticed I was very offended by the library. I see here it says here Long Island. I'm holding it up. I don't know if you could see. They're doing a Long Island author talk. And they have
You're not there?
I'm not here. Three prominent authors and I haven't even heard of these people. Have you heard of Linda Frank?
Who?
Linda Frank.
Who?
Okay, then there's my answer. How about Michael Vecchione?
That's the pizza guy over on Park Boulevard.
He works at Leonardo's, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And Antoinette Martin. You don't have Funny Man Stevie K, the author of Anything is Possible, soon to be in theaters near you.
A pizza guy. Oh my God, that's crazy.
I was aghast. I went, so I go up and I ask the librarians, and they say, we don't know. Look, Marge, he doesn't know.
Well, you know, you've got connections over there.
I thought I did. I'm going to have to speak to my sister about this, because they do a Long Island author talk, and I'm omitted. I'm very offended. Very offended. I'm quite offended. Now, are you guys all set? Now, Steve, Jeff has been locked into the Yankees. He hasn't watched the Yankees, we were joking, since Chris Chambliss and Reggie played.
Oh my God.
Now, Jeff got the, what'd you just get, the Yes Network?
Yeah, I subscribe to the Yes Network.
He got the Yes Network, and he's watching Yankee games. He's locked in. I have recruited another one.
You know, it's a passive thing. It's just a passive thing.
No, Jeff always he has a really nice Yankee jacket. Jeff's a Yankee fan.
No, you know, Steve, when I lived in LA, people wore Yankee hats and they had no idea what baseball is. They just wear they just wear it because it's a.
Oh, Jeff, that sounds like fighting words.
I'm just saying that, Jeff. I'm sorry, Jeff.
No, Jeff knows his.
Fan since 1976.
Jeff,
When they started winning.
Jeff, when they started winning, then Jeff took a hiatus. But now,
It could have worked. I could have been a Met fan.
oh,
You know.
now you're talking to the right. You're talking to the wrong guy. Steve is a avid other side fan, Met fan.
Sure is
You're a Met fan?
Hey, Steve, you're a big Bruce Springsteen guy. Are you going to any of? Isn't he in the area? Are you going to any of his shows?
Well, funny you should say that.
I am funny, man.
Because Sunday night, I could have gone to see him. Someone I know at the radio station had tickets, and she was actually going to let me, borrow, pay her off in in installments, because the price of this ticket was over $400.
Wow.
And I really seriously thought about going. That's the fake price. There was no
Right. Which this is the show. This was this Sunday or last night.
It was Easter Sunday, yesterday.
Wow. And where you?
And I thought I really for the last 2 months I was debating, to go or not. I said, oh my God, oh.
It was at UBS.
And then I finally said, no, this is not.
That's a lot of money. Where was the show, Steve?
At UBS.
UBS. Now, Jeff goes to a lot of concerts. He likes Metallica. He's gone to Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. Jeff, what would you pay? So you're a concert goer. What's your limit?
It depends on who the band is.
What?
I'm going to see Iron Maiden. They're like my favorite band. I'll pay $300 my limit.
So for Maiden, you'd go 300.
Yeah, I love Iron Maiden. I won't miss the show.
I think I need to listen to more Maiden because I'm always in an angry state, and I think that's my music I need.
Steve, you should. You should. It just, Iron Maiden is right up your alley.
I feel like that. I feel like I need angry music.
What you would do, Steve? You would take that hat off, or your headband, and you would just start pulling, yanking that hair. You're going insane.
Steve,
I'm telling you.
Steve, I almost attacked a sprinkler guy today. I went insane earlier today. A sprinkler guy, they were turning on the sprinklers, and I had there was a little bit of a hubbub. There was a brouhaha.
How do you get into a fight with a sprinkler guy? I don't get it.
It was a benches clearing brawl with the sprinkler guy. He came in high and tight. Look, it doesn't take a lot to ask Steve. Steve can attest to this. I am on a very short fuse, and I could go off at any time. I'm a powder keg.
I'm not gonna lie.
Tell him, Jeff. Tell him, Steve.
There's been moments I've been very uncomfortable. And though I try to keep my cool, which I have.
You have.
Inside, I'm like wishing that somehow cooler heads would prevail. It's quite scary.
Well,
Steve killed tried to kill his passport one day.
Well, that speaking of interactions with the law, I'm coming upon April 15th, for those of you at home playing along, and tax day is due. Now, usually, so my taxes are now a bit different that I wasn't unaware of. There's always a little hook. So I am with that app company, Trainiac, and I guess they don't tell you, but they never take taxes or withholding out. So now I get the call from my accountant 2 days before the deadline, and I'll tell you, before I'll pay, I'll go right to prison. I'll go right to I don't care. I'll go right to the tax evasion section of jail. What is that, the third floor?
Well,
Yes, I believe so.
I'm not meeting you in the joint the same place, so you gotta do something about
Are
that.
you sure? Because they have a lot of weights there. We could really get stuff going on there.
No, thanks.
I hear they have medicine balls now in prison. And the battle rope. They actually have Zumba classes now.
Oh,
It's a very
I
progressive.
could see, being a good member of the community there in prison. Leading the classes.
Yes, this could be a new thing for me. I could be, and it's great for my book, my next book. I could my life as a prison trainer. I could, I think there's something there. I'm going to look into this.
It's a lot. I can see that.
Right? Well, what prisons are on Long Island? Because I don't want to travel.
Oh, you got the jails. You got Riverhead.
That's a little far.
Riverhead, and you got over here in East Meadow.
There's a jail in East Meadow?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. I'll have to look into that. That could be convenient. Oh, that's perfect for me.
Not too far from right down the road from Exeter.
So I wasn't going to say it on the air, but now that Steve is here, I have found the secret motherlode of Blacktop Celsius. And
you're still on about this black.
Yeah, so one of the places, people won't know, is the Bola Market, Steve. I called that. Remember I said I think I'm going to try that gas station?
The Bola Market, yeah.
Packed with Blacktop Celsius.
I was somewhere
Chock full.
Blacktop everything.
Blacktop everything.
But no orange.
Yeah, the Bola Market is fantastic. And I'm not going to tell on the air where, because I don't want people running to take it from me. But really, really.
Is there really a difference between black and silver?
Well, I told you, we're gonna do this on the air. We're gonna do it on the air next week, next Monday. We're gonna be in the studio. I'm telling you, get ready for warm weather, because this week it's supposed to hit 80.
Nice. Beach weather.
I'm telling you, Steve, get ready.
Steve, it might be time to start training for Mr. Jones Beach.
That's true. If they still have that, I would love that, Mr. Jones. Isn't that Tracy Chapman's song? No. What was it? Who sang?
Captain Crows.
Oh, thank you, Counting Crows. What was I? Oh, and then so that's going to be coming up. So, Steve, here's some big news that you'll understand. I'm having a dilemma. After many, many years, Janet over at the dental office is taking a hiatus. Yes, and I know how I feel about that. That's a blow to our family, because nobody has touched my teeth other than Janet since I've been born.
Why didn't you get that done before she split?
No, right now I just got the text. There was a message out of left field. It's very shocking. So, I mean, do you guys have a steady dental hygienist that you like?
No, go to my dentist.
Oh,
you have a dental hygienist.
What, is that a foo-foo thing?
It is. You got a dentist, and my dentist cleans my teeth.
Oh no, a hygienist. That's what a dental hygienist does.
Now, Steve, I can't even afford. I know it. I try to go to your dental hygienist, and
She threw Steve right out, Jeff. She threw Steve and his fake insurance right out.
The dirty four-letter word that's not a four-letter word. It's called insurance. And you know what this woman said though? And I said, well, I checked my insurance, and your practice doesn't cover it. And she looked at me and with a straight face said, well, we're a boutique practice.
Steve has a lot of hatred for my dental office because they caption themselves as a boutique.
I've never heard such bouginess in my life.
I like that. I like have upper class teeth.
No, you don't like being bougie.
I don't.
It's not you. You're
But
not a bougie person.
unless I'm included in the bougie. I like it when I'm included as part of the bougie. Well, now what am I going to do? I'm going to have to run through a car wash with a smile and get my teeth cleaned that way.
So let's say you would trust a bunch of car wash guys rather than a certified dentist.
Well, here's what they're trying to do at the office. And again, I'm being closed, and I hate being closed. They send me a text today, a preset text, I could tell, even though I know them there for years. And Steve knows Janet because she's kind of in the fitness world too and was friends to us.
She belongs to the Gym of the Month Club.
She's a fan of clubs. She belongs to more gyms than Jack LaLanne. So she, the other person at the office sends a message saying, we have these other great hygienists. They're amazing. I mean, you're not going to say, look, we got, we got a couple of crappy dental hygienists. Who do you want? Pick one. So now I'm in a dilemma. Let my teeth rot or succumb. It's like the haircut issue all over again. Nobody can stay. I need my surrounding people. You know what it takes to make this look for me?
Your Don West Eyes look is still there.
I know, but I went back to the woman now for the haircut.
Back to the woman.
Yeah, but now she's pregnant again.
What? You double done.
I did, but now I got a teeth problem. Now I got to find a new dental hygienist.
Just find a freaking dentist, not a guy.
It's a problem,
Welcome to the dentist's office.
and with 3 days left, I'm gonna have to fire my accountant. I'm gonna have to find I gotta Google shady accountants for personal trainers. I will not give $1 to those. I got a 4-letter word, IRS.
Oh man! Oh my God!
This was a bad week for me. I'm having sprinkler and tax problems.
But we just started. It's only Monday.
Oh my God! It feels like it's exhausting already. I'm exhausted.
Is this Monday or Tuesday? I don't know what day it is.
Hey, do you guys remember your first car? I was thinking about my first car. Do you remember your first car?
Yes.
What did you have, Jeff?
I had a Mercury Bobcat.
Wait, what was that?
A Mercury Bobcat. It looked like a Pinto.
A Mercury Bobcat. Looks like a Pinto.
Yes.
I like the name of that, the Mercury Bobcat.
Same exact design as a Pinto.
Same as the Pinto, the great Pinto. What did you have, Steve?
I had a Toyota Corolla hatchback.
The Toyota Corolla hatchback. I had I had a Mustang hatchback. I had it was like a GT Mustang hatchback, but not the souped up hoopy one that it wasn't. It was a real no frills. And what I had to do every morning in the cold, because it wouldn't start, you'd have to keep the hood open and the carburetor open, and I'd use an old tip. I grew up hard. You guys think I grew up easy on the streets,
I thought your hands were washed and I'd be soaked.
right?
You had it right now.
No, this is what I had to. This is how I. So when I got a nice new car, but I was thinking of people's first cars, and a lot. That's good that you remember. You always remember your first car. I'm really in.
It was a horrible, disgusting brown color.
It was a brown color.
Some kind of horrible brown.
So guess which movie? I'll let you guys guess which movie killed at the box office this weekend and is leading by not even close. I mean, you won't even believe how much this movie made this weekend.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Nope.
Nope. Steve knows. Go ahead.
Super Mario.
Super Mario Brothers brought in $146 million.
Ugh.
Now, John Wick was second with $14 million.
Oh, I heard that. Oh, really? John Wick was up there?
It's real. John was really good.
Yeah, Steve.
No, I know, but I had heard that for the weekend, well, at least on the radio, I heard that that Air was a way distant second.
Well, it's very close, and I'll tell you why. John Wick is 14.6, Dungeons and Dragons 14.5, and Air 14.5.
Oh, okay.
So they're all like, it's like a three-way tie for second.
Someone I know went to see Dungeons and Dragons, and they were very surprised. They said it was really good.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeff saw it too.
Yeah.
And
I was
he,
pleasantly surprised.
guess how much
Yeah, my friend was too. So
guess how much paint made?
God.
$15 out of my pocket.
It made It made Jeff's $15.
If the metal world's Roger Ebert had his way, he would make sure that paint would never see the light of day again.
Well, oh yeah, he crushed paint. It made $750,000.
Poor Owen Wilson. He's having a rough time.
I mean, what are they doing? Terrible. It's just terrible. Hey, Cal Burnett is having her 90th birthday party coming up.
Yes. I know they take that. Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
That will be. That's going to be aired. When is that? Oh, April 26th.
Oh.
On NBC. Cal Burnett, the queen of comedy, will be on NBC April 26th. And
here's the question: how does Carol Burnett end up on NBC when most of her career was in CBS? How could CBS not
you're right.
honor Carol Burnett?
Now it says here the Cal Burnett show ran from 1967 to 1978 on CBS. So you're looking at 11 years.
Or more. She was with other shows on CBS before that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
before Carol Burnett.
Listen.
She was regular on the other shows before that.
Listen to this lineup that's going to be there. Vicki Lawrence.
Of course.
Wow, Vicki Lawrence is still around?
Yeah, and they pay homage to Harvey Korman and Tim Conway. I don't think they are. Kristen Chenoweth, Jane Lynch, Katy Perry, Bernadette Peters.
Wow.
Susan Lucci, I know her.
We know you do.
Steve Carell, Cher, Ellen DeGeneres, Laura Dern, Bill Hader, Amy Poehler, Marissa Tomei, Lily Tomlin, Kristen Wiig, and of course, Cal Burnett's good friend, Sofia Vergara.
Oh, yeah.
You want to know the funny thing about? You want to hear the funny thing about Bill Hader?
Yes.
He was on. He's on that PBS show, Finding Your Roots.
I've never seen it.
You ever watch it? And so they have celebrities, and they go through. They go back to their roots, and they through blood and through backgrounds and everything like that. And so they have everybody's records who they've done. Sometimes at the end of the show, they will find someone else on the show that they're distant cousins with. Well, Bill Hader is distant cousins with Carol Burnett.
Wow. Well, there you go. Bill Hader and Cal Burnett are cousins. I didn't know some of the voice cast in Super Mario Brothers. Did any of you know some of the voices?
Yes, and as an Italian American, I'm very offended that they got Chris Pratt to play Mario. I mean, come on.
And yes, Chris Pratt.
It's me, Mario. I mean, come on.
They got Charlie Day. Charlie Day.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Right. Charlie Day from all the Horrible Boss movies. And Jack Black. So they got some, A-list voices. A-list voices. If that makes sense. And I'll leave you with this. I'm gonna end the show with this. Frito-Lay, the great Frito-Lay company, is wanting to take care of the environment, so they will be packaging all of your great healthy snacks, your Cheetos, your cheese doodles, your corn chips, your Fritos. They will all be now in a compostable, recyclable bag. You will see them hitting the stores in the next couple of weeks, and they're very excited about this pro-environment bag plan, they're calling it. Now, the only problem I have is they care about the environment, but not about your stomach.
Steve.
Yes, here we go.
Yesterday, Steve, I'm sure the Yankee game is on, but I texted the name to you, Herman Lay.
Herman Lay. Yes.
Because I was watching Steve's favorite show, Food That Changed America.
Yes, Food That Built America.
Food that Steve will never eat.
But I love the show. I love the show. But yes, there wouldn't be a thing on there I would taste. It's always like White Castles.
Frito-Lay, and then there was White Castle and Nathan's after that.
Oh, the White Castle Nathan's. That's a good one. So now I looked up a couple of the ingredients in Cheetos. And I was just, it's nothing crazy, just a lot of artificial flavoring, vegetable oil. They have enriched cornmeal, and and there was a cheese seasoning that I couldn't pronounce. And look at this. Oh, just in case you're in East Meadow, speaking of East Meadow, the New York Sports Club has closed. They have gone bankrupt, and guess what's opening there?
Is it Ted Gym has moved from Massapequa to East Meadow?
Jeff is going to have to move his workouts. No, it's a superfood town.
We need a superfood town. Oh my God!
A superfood town.
Jack Lane would be turning me crazy.
So don't worry, the Long Island can't sustain a gym, but you better believe they're going to sustain a superfood town.
Now that's the legendary location. Before it was the New York Sports Club, it was I believe Greg Buttles' gym.
Oh, the great Greg Buttles, a Long Island favorite. Yes, that was a real hard. Those are the hardcore days of the Buttles gym and all that kind of stuff. But so that was great. Thanks, guys, for calling in. We'll close up shop now. We're actually a little past time. I'll let you guys get back to the baseball games, and I'll jump in and see how the Yanks are doing. And a little surprise, guess who messaged me back on Instagram?
Uh-oh.
A certain 9-day band member, John Hampson.
Oh!
And he said he would love to come on the Steve Square Show. He said, let's arrange it, tell me when and where. So I'm going to message him tonight and confirm a next Monday show with the 9 days writer of Absolutely Love You. Well, absolutely. It's just absolutely. From 9 Days, John Hampson. Now, Wantor high school teacher.
Wow.
Super. It's going to be great. He'll play. I'll ask him to bring his guitar. We have the guitar. It usually goes the other way, right? It's like you're usually a school teacher turned comic. He's a rock star turned school teacher.
Well, I'm sure that happens a lot. It's just, it's just, that doesn't get as much publicity as the opposite way around.
Right. The other way is the rags to riches story. This is the riches to rags story.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm sure he's making more than he would be buttling down the road. So those school teachers, they do well. I know my sister's cringing right now. Anyway. Well, thanks, boys, for jumping on. Talk to you guys soon. And hopefully we'll have a magical guest next week. Thanks, boys.
Thank you, Joey.
Later, guys. And thanks for those guys. And I will close up shop myself. Thanks to Steve and Jeff for jumping on. That was fun. And thanks for all of you for spending some time laughing and learning. Very little learning, hopefully more laughing. Probably a little of both. Anyway, so maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, we might have a special guest in the studio next Monday. And we'll see. For myself, for Steve, for Jeff, for Kermit, for my broken lamp, and the rest of the studio. Have a wonderful, safe, healthy week. And remember, get your 15 minutes of walking, a little water, and a little sunshine. There you go. From me to you. Have a great week.